Hi everyone, my name is James Brown. I'm a proud Gamilaroi man with family ties back in Narrabri in Colorado. I grew up on Bundjalung country up on the Tweed Heads, and that's where I started to play soccer at the age of 6 years old. My experiences were great. I got to travel the world and I got to live in a few different parts of Australia, some really beautiful places, and it took me overseas as well. Now that I kind of look back, I learned a few life lessons too. I've had a few lifelong friends as well while I was playing, and there's some things that I've been taught playing football professionally that I think is really valuable in my career after football, and I think also just in life as well. I represented Australia at under 17s, under 20s and under 23s. I think at the time I didn't really appreciate what it meant. I felt it was almost like a natural sort of progression. Now that I'm a bit older and a bit wiser, I was really fortunate to represent the country. It did take a lot of sacrifice, not only for myself but for my family as well, to get me to and from training, to pay to go to certain tournaments and pay for registration fees and kits and that kind of stuff too. So it did mean a lot for me. Now that I look back, and I'm sure at the time and also looking back, it meant a lot for my family too. I come from the Gamilaroi mob out in western New South Wales. It's about 3 to 4 hours west of pretty much Coffs Harbour. I grew up on Bundjalung country on the Tweed Heads, but the majority of my family is from out Narrabri, Colorado, Dubbo sort of way. The biggest highlight for me was just the amount of positive feedback we got from the community clubs all the way to the NPL clubs. We had the majority of clubs that are reaching out, asking what else can they do. I think it's important to get these clubs to have buy-in, and so they can make suggestions as well, so we can all work on this Indigenous ground together to make sure that it is growing, it is sustainable, and it is delivered year in, year out. Growing up, I looked up to Jade North, who was the first Indigenous Socceroos captain, and another one as well. I'd say Adam Srotter played professionally in Australia, forged a pretty successful career in Europe, and he managed to represent the Socceroos as well. A few more that kind of spring to mind are, you likes of Frank Farina, John Moriarty, who's doing some great things with his foundation as well, and also Charles Perkins too. For me, it's pretty simple. It's just about recognising that the First Nations peoples have been here and looked after this land for over 65,000 years, and it's just about respecting that cultural and spiritual connection that Indigenous people have to this country. Whether it is just having a kick around at school, or just having a kick around the backyard, playing on the weekends, or playing at some sort of representative level. I just like to see more Indigenous people playing a game. I'd say just give it a go. There's plenty to learn. There's plenty of good friends to be made. It can take you all over the country, all over the world. So just give it a go, and I'm sure you'll love it.